Hey folks, welcome back to Around the Yard. Today, finally getting around to it, we got the Wolfe Ridge 35 SHO Box Wedge on my right, and we got the Wolfe Ridge 17 VSC behind me on my left. What we're going to do today in today's testing is I've got two really similar sized ash logs or ash rounds that we cut up in a previous video. This is the center of the log, so these should be as similar as possible. And I've got came out here with a marker and a big T-square, drywall T-square, and I kind of marked on top here what I thought was possible with the vertical splitter. So I've got a whole bunch of 2-inch squares on here, which I think is doable. I can show you that here in a second. And then we've got the 2x4 box wedge on the 35 SHO, and I've got that also marked out. So let me bring you in a little closer and we'll show you what we got. Okay, so first up is the 17 VS. So, and I actually went through here and kind of numbered this out a little bit. But basically these are 2-inch squares, give or take. So what we did here is I laid out with the T-square. So at this end here we're at 0. So you can see we're about 19.25, give or take. So maybe with bark we're about an 18-inch round. Each one of these squares is pretty close to 2x2. Best I can do with a Sharpie. So that's what we did. We laid this out, 2x2 squares. That's probably not quite doable, but it should be kind of close. So what I did here is I kind of measured, so like this would be like one split or one piece, 2, 3, 4, 5, this corner would be the 5th, and then coming down we got 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's basically 2x4. Kind of taking a couple of liberties here. So then like 14 and 15 would be this kind of chunk here, so 2x3 give or take, and then 16, 17, 18, 19 down to 22 on this end, and then coming back the other way, 23 through 24, maybe 25 into here, and then or 29, excuse me, and then 30 through 34. So I think we'll get about 30 pieces out of this. That'd be my best guess. Might get a little more, might get a little less, but that's kind of how I have this laid out. So basically the idea being we'd crack it probably here, 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 and here, and then come back through and divvy it all back up again. So that's kind of the game plan on the VSC. On the 35 SHO, this is a little different layout. So the way the box wedge works is we've got two 2x4 slots, then we've got a 4x4 slot on either side, and a 4x outside of that. So usually what I do is the first round, or the first split, I'll take this bottom off and we'll get a flat top. Then I'll roll around so the flat side is up, and we'll take the bottom off. Okay, so that'll give us 8 pieces. Now this round being 18 or 19 inches, same as the other one, we can take off the left side and the right side, and we'll get another 8 pieces. So now we're up to 16, and then we're looking at 4, 4, and 4. So we're 16, 20, 24, 28 pieces. So we should be closer to 30 on that way as well. So equal size rounds, a little bit different size pieces, but that's what we're kind of after. So maybe 25-ish rounds, 28 out of this one, and maybe closer to 30 out of the VSC. So let's warm these machines up and we'll get splitting. Cold out here this morning. It's probably 10 degrees or so, clear, but no wind. So I'm a little overdressed, but didn't want to freeze. pretty smooth. Maybe 5-6 minutes of splitting there. Let's count all this up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, All right, so we got 65 pieces there, and there's even a couple bigger ones in here that I could probably split again, so we're probably about 70. So we doubled what we thought we could get there for output. Granted, a lot of what I had marked there was 2x4 kind of size stuff, but as it started to split, it got a lot cleaner, and it was really easy to split these 2x2s, give or take. So a whole bunch of these. So we got 65 pieces out of that in probably just a little over 5 minutes, and that was just kind of working at it. So if you get quick at this and quick using this machine, you can definitely up your production. This is probably, you know, for every 10 or 12 pieces that goes into a bundle, maybe 15, there's 4 or 5 bundles here of firewood. So that's pretty cool. That's a pretty good turnaround. Well, now let's go try the 35 SHO. Let's see how that can do. folks. That's the 35 SHO with a 2x4 box wedge. There's all the wood we produced. I'm going to go ahead and stack it off to the side here. Right here, we'll count it up. Remember, on the 17 VS, we had about 65, 70 pieces. These are going to be bigger splits. So the 17 VS was kind of kicking out something a little bit bigger than this. This is about 2x2 or 1.5 inches square. This machine is set up to do 2x4, so pretty much double the split size. So I would expect about half as many, but let's count up the really good pieces. We'll stack those on the sorting table extension, and then all the feathers and little stuff that I tell you guys that I like, and I'm not lying, anything that's borderline full length or 12 inches and greater, that's kind of this type of material, I include this in my bundles. I kind of stack this down the middle of the IBC tote, and I include a few feathers just to get the fire going. There's nothing worse than opening up a bundle of, you know, great big stuff, and now you got to split, or now you got to do something to get kind of this kindling and tinder to get your fire going. So I include that stuff. So I'm going to leave that up here in a pile, and we'll kind of figure out how much is left. But anything that's 2x4, 4x4, 3x4, etc. is going to go down here. We'll try and put you know, 2x4s on one end and the bigger splits on the other. So all right, here we go. Try not to knock my head. So these are our very small pieces. Here's our feathers. We'll put 2x4s over here so you guys can count those up. This is kind of a better idea of what those feathers look like. So they're maybe 1/2 inch thick, give or take. They've got some rattiness to them, but that's perfect for kindling. So that's getting a little bit thicker. Same here. And basically what these feathers are is it's the chaff coming off of these bigger pieces. So these 3x4s, they create a little bit of chaff coming through, and that's what you're getting off of those. Here's some nice triangles. It's kind of a bigger piece. I lost count. Sorry guys. We'll count it up here in a second. A whole lot of big ones. I was surprised by that. It's a little bigger square. These are kind of the corners, so that's why I split flat. So this would be the bottom of the round. So you see you get this little triangle off the bottom. This is the next set up. So there's two 2x4s right here, and this is the next piece. Here it is again. So by kind of rotating that round, you get smaller pieces and not quite so many of the great big stuff. There's another one. That's that edge. So for big pieces, we got 2, 4, 6, 7, maybe 8. That's probably the other big piece here. Okay, so 8 4x4s, 4x3s. For 2x4s and smaller triangles, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I don't remember if I counted that one or not, but let's say 27 of the 2x4s, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, including the bigger splits. We've got 36, 37, 38, 39, and then we've got probably 3/4 of a cubic foot of feathers and little pieces that will definitely go in the bundles. So half as many splits, but still really good bundle wood coming out of the 2x4 box wedge. There's other options that Wolfe Ridge makes for this box wedge. So this is kind of a prototype, but I'm pretty sure they'd make it for you guys if you called and asked for it. They also offer a 2x3, which is going to get you a lot closer to this 2x4 size without the bark on it. So you're kind of looking at, you know, this is your finished width 2x3. So lots of pieces like that. And then your outbound pieces. So where I'm getting 4x4s off the edges, you'd only be getting 3x3, which is a nicer size bundle piece, I think. So that might be another wedge to try out. It just depends on what kind of wood you're in. Like I said before, these box wedges, they really excel with straight, clean grain, no knots. That's why I love running ash. It's really clean and straight, at least the stuff that I sort out. But I think you get really high quality bundle wood out of this. Granted, we got 35 pieces versus 65 or so with the vertical splitter, but I think there was less work involved in this. With the vertical splitter, I noticed that you need to maneuver that round. You know, if it's great big, you're maneuvering it. And granted, you are rolling it around on this, so it's kind of a 50-50 deal, guys. You know, this was a pretty good example of an 18-inch round, 19-inch round, and what it takes to keep rolling it over and trying to maximize your number of splits and try and minimize the number of this big stuff. If you just run it through flat, you're going to get a lot more bigger pieces because there's only 2 2x4 sections. So that's why you saw me roll it over 180 degrees and then roll it up on edge 90 degrees. Then we've got that kind of, I don't know, probably about 10 inches wide or so. It's about the width of the beam. That's about perfect because you get 4 2x4s then. The next set, so you got 2x4 down the middle, the next set is 4x4. Well, if you only have a 10-inch wide piece, you can only get a 2x4. So that's how we got so many more 2x4s than these 4x4s. We kept rolling that round and finding that sweet spot to maximize the number of 2x4s that we got. And to me, this is a perfect size for bundles. You can get 10 or 12 in a 1 cubic foot bag, either with the Wolfe Ridge bagging station, the Easy Bagger. You know, this kind of stuff, 2x4, shoot guys, they stack so well in those wrappers and twisters and whatnot. Everything stacks in nice and neat. If you get some, you know, kind of the goofier looking stuff, it doesn't stack as nice. You know, but cow, that's almost a square corner. That's what I like about the box wedge. I'm beginning to like that about the 17 VSC. You can get these square corners, especially if you lay it out. I was amazed at how accurate I could come down with that single knife on that 17 VSC and hit my line. So if you did a little bit of layout, not that you want to do that on every piece, but as you're kind of teaching yourself the 17 VSC, or even how the box wedge is going to operate, kind of laying out what it looks like on the log ahead of time might actually be of benefit to you. So anyhow, that's my thoughts on this. We're going to keep splitting here today. It's nice and clear, no wind, which is awesome, but it's a little bit cold, so we've got a fire going in the wood stove, so I'm gonna have to go check on that here in a minute. It's not smoking anymore, so she's burning hot, ready for more wood. Yeah, we're gonna keep getting after it with this 17 VSC as long as it's in the yard. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys want to see more comparisons of. If you want me to run smaller wood, bigger wood, we got lots of stuff to pick from here. So probably the next videos coming up are going to be the 17 VS for sure, but we've got some older oak that's kind of past its prime. We're gonna split the bad stuff off, throw that in the trailer, and keep the good oak for us. So at any rate, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day around the yard. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. Thanks a lot. We'll catch you on the next one.